Hey guys, seeing as a lot of you like these kind of videos, I'm gonna be reviewing random TikTok videos and YouTube shorts about health.
Is being a vegan or a vegetarian good for longevity? Let's talk about it. Hi, I am Christian.
How would you even know? Vegans have been around since 2010 essentially, hardly any before that. How would we know if it's good for your longevity? Obviously it's not, but purely if you would want to study it, it would be impossible.
Drapo. I'm a stem cell scientist and I help people live longer, better lives. There's so many opinions that are expressed about one camp or the other, meat eaters, vegan, vegetarians. I don't want to add to this whole discussion. Let me simply share that I have been vegetarian for nearly 40 years, and let me just tell you.
Yeah, but there's a huge difference between a vegetarian and a vegan because you still eat animal products such as dairy, maybe eggs also. And many vegetarians still eat fish, which is literally just meat, but somehow in their minds it's not meat. I don't know how. There's never been an explanation for it, as in pescatarians, but they still call themselves vegetarian. Who knows if he's one of them? 40 years of actual vegetarianism? Mostly consuming dairy? That's pretty hard to pull off.
Why I became vegetarian. In looking at all
Because you were brainwashed, you don't need to explain it.
the characteristics of a human being, like a jaw that moves sideways to grind vegetables, only
Where do humans grind vegetables? When have you ever seen a human being grinding vegetables? Ever? I've never seen that in my life.
vegetarian animals have that. You look at
Vegetarian animals? What are you talking about? There are no vegetarian animals. There's herbivorous animals, such as cows and sheep, who still eat animals. They eat small animals, which are on the grass, the leaves, the stems, and so on. And then there's carnivorous animals who mostly eat animals usually, even though the definition is that you eat 20% raw meat, but most of them probably do. Well, who knows? The animal kingdom is big.
animals that have strength and endurance for long periods of time. It is not your wolf, the dog, or the lion. It is the horse, the oxen, the elephant. There's just a lot of data out there to show that we can really muster strength and on being.
Yeah, they have a huge gut or more chambers in the stomach to ferment grass constantly. No human does that. How is it? How is this a good comparison? Comparing us to horses that eat plants, grass. It makes no sense.
Being vegetarian. I mean, I don't look like I'm weak and skinny. So there's no problem eating meat. But for me, the reason why I let go of meat is that when I started to meditate and get more into yoga, we're talking here more than 30
Yeah, like I said, just brainwashed.
years ago. One of the rule why Indians and people in yoga are vegetarian, it's because meat excites the mind. So if you want to be able to calm your mind, if you want to be able to calm
Yeah, just be calm, weak. That's what it means. Just be a good slave. That's exactly what it was used for, to enslave the people.
your emotion, you can do this better on a vegetarian diet. Gandhi was talking about how meat was given to Indian soldiers during the war to make them more aggressive.
Actually, Gandhi at the very end, I don't know if I will find the quote now, said that you should be eating meat, that he was wrong about it. Let me see, I'll probably not find it. I tried to find it, but I can't. Maybe if somebody has the quote, you can post it, maybe I can pin it.
This is just the reason why I decided to take a diet that will facilitate the process of meditation.
Eat food like medicine. Oh my god, I can already. Oh my god. Carrots for your eyes because of orange pigments. Yeah, exactly. Not eyes for your eyes. No, no, no. Mushrooms for your ears. Yeah, totally makes sense. Yeah. Kidney beans for your kidneys. Not kidneys. Don't eat kidneys. Eat kidney beans, which are toxic and can kill you. Tomatoes for your heart. How? Hey, what is this based on? What the fuck is this, man? Walnuts for your brain. Nuts with anti-nutrients. Plant omega-3s, which you would have to convert to actual animal omega-3s. What? None of this makes any sense. There's zero connection between these plant foods and your organs. If anything, they will destroy those specific organs because you have to filter out the toxins all the time. Wow. Then he also has citrus for your breasts? Who the fuck thinks of this? Grapes for lungs? Olives for ovaries? No, as a woman, you need to be eating ovaries to be really hormonally healthy. You don't actually need to, but it really helps for women who have problems with estrogen, for example. Sweet potatoes for your pancreas. So basically sugar and oxalates for your pancreas. Maybe this is the worst list I've ever seen. And it just makes zero sense. There's no logic. There's not even any explanation as to why you should. Foods and what body parts they support. How? How do they support them? Ginger for stomach? So super toxic antibiotics for your stomach? What the fuck, man? Celery for bones. How? Where's the logic? What the fuck is this, man? Oh my god. Oh my god. I think this is the worst short I've ever seen when it comes to health. 15 eggs a day keeps all women away. Probably boiled eggs then anyway, and who knows what else he ate. Boiled eggs are not that easy to digest yet because they are hard. If you would pop in 15 raw eggs, you wouldn't have any indigestion because boiled eggs are unnatural. That's why your body can deal with them. But seeing as they eat all kinds of garbage, who knows what even caused it. But it might as well be so, yeah, but it's not the eggs. The problem is the cooking, the boiling. Yeah, true alpha male Chad right there.
Humans were meant to run 45 miles a day.
Humans are meant to run 45 miles a day. What? What is that based on? 45 miles? There's never been a recorded case of any humans in nature even running for 1 mile. What are you talking about? Humans don't run. What? What? That's never been recorded ever. You're just gonna die from a heart attack if you run even way less than that.
Designed biologically to move the extent of what it would be to exert yourself for 45 miles, literally daily. There's a thing called...
Literally daily? Literally why? What are you basing this on? Just some stupid religious belief.
Persistence hunting. And we did that. Jog for 8 hours.
I was gonna say,
No, never. Nobody does that. Even the tribes which are really bad at hunting, that spend a lot of time hunting, they walk after the animals. And you gotta understand that in nature, it's full of forests and bushes, jungles. That's how it always used to be. You cannot run there. They simply take some modern people who wear Adidas, who live in the desert. Most of the earth is not a desert. And then they actually have space to walk. They don't even run after the animal. And that's it. But humans in nature, they lurk all the time. They just sit, crouch, maybe stand, and they just wait. And then when an animal comes, there's either traps that were laid already, or they run with a spear, they take their bows and quickly attack them. That's how people hunt. Nobody runs at all. Fuck, man, so delusional.
that's when they just chase an animal until they're completely exhausted.
Yeah, that never happened. There's no reported cases of this ever.
The animal falls down from exhaustion and gives up. And then that
That never happened. Total fantasy stories.
person takes the animal's life in such reverence, though.
The reverence part is also nonsense. Reverence essentially just means deep respect. You don't have any respect for animals that you just killed. Also delusional. Totally removed from nature, sitting there with his headphones, microphone, with the man-made books, with the man-made symbols in the background, and just has no idea how things go down in nature.
Latvia is the worst place to be a chef in the world. And do you know why? Do you know why? It's because every time you have to ask for a sharp knife, you have to ask for this.
Okay, I know how it looks like. It's actually pronounced as nazis. There's nothing to do with it, obviously, but Yeah, in English, when you read that, I get it. It's funny from a different perspective.
Let's make my daughter her dinner for tonight. I'm starting off by
By the way, what she means with daughter is her dog. She's probably just some single woman who's miserable. That's the only reason you would call your pets daughters or sons. Only people without children do that. Only them. Have you ever seen somebody who has children who says, hey, son, daughter, come here, to a dog or a cat? No, because they want children so badly, because they go against their nature.
spreading raw ground pork into her bowl. It kind of looks like sausage, and
I wonder why pork. Whatever, but is because it's cheaper, maybe, I guess.
I know she's going to absolutely love it. Next, she's having raw beef liver, which
Well, it is great that she's feeding the daughter raw meat. Of course, actual humans should be eating pretty much the same. Maybe not pork today, because most pork is toxic.
is one of the healthiest foods she could eat.
Yeah, all right. Yeah.
I take beef liver capsules myself because I could probably never
Capsules, because you could never eat
eat
what?
actual liver.
Why? Liver is one of the best tasting foods on earth. Just get it from healthy animals.
Then we are following that up with chicken hearts. All of my kids love these, even Buddy, which is
All of my kids love these. Oh my god, she's messed up.
crazy because we all know how picky he can be. For today's vegetables, I steamed butter
There are no picky any kind of animals, humans, dogs, whatever. They just eat what they naturally want to eat. So when you give an animal what they naturally want to eat, they always eat it. They are only picky when you give them fake food, unnatural food, when you try to feed a child flowers such as broccoli. Of course they won't eat it because it's unnatural.
nut squash. If your fur kids struggle with veggies, this is definitely a great one to try because of how.
Why would you give vegetables to dogs or cats?
Then it's time for her berries for antioxidants.
Ah, fuck off, man. The antioxidants are in the fucking liver, man. The meat, cholesterol. You can produce your own glutathione and whatever you need if you have poisons inside of you get sick, which you will actually from the blueberry. So, sort of ironically, by eating the liver, she will actually protect herself, the dog, from the blueberries, the toxins from those.
Today she's getting organic blueberries, but I also
Organic doesn't matter, still has pesticides.
rotate in strawberries, blackberries, and raspberries.
Also just as bad.
Then I'm cracking open a Tupperware full of smell and loading up her plate with omega-3 fatty acids to keep her skin hydrated so it's not itchy
You should be feeding them brain. It has the most omega-3s.
and to keep her coat shiny and soft like a puppy's. Next, we are topping all of this with a raw chicken wing for calcium and for her to crunch on.
Chicken wing for calcium? The bones, you mean? Alright. Anyway, overall, pretty good compared to other so-called pet owners, mothers of dog daughters. She feeds them a pretty good diet. When you look at kibble, especially if there's grains inside, this is pretty good.
Then some hemp seeds for extra health benefits, and
I take everything back. Just cut out the last part. Hemp seeds. She still gives them seeds. Why?
finally fresh basil leaves. If you're
What? Man, that's toxic. What the fuck? Do they actually eat that? What? Put hemp seeds or basil or any kind of green leaves in front of a dog. They will never eat them. If they would, then only because you somehow put them on top and they just are so hungry if you feed them once a day that they will just eat everything. That would be the only way. If you put them next to the dish, then they will not touch
your
them.
dog is like your kid and you want them to be as healthy as possible, then
Oh my god, you're so brainwashed. Kids or dogs just won't eat that because it's toxic, poisonous.
follow for more pet parent videos.
This is a guy called Coach Krochen. We're gonna check out more of his videos.
Imagine thinking that carbs are the reason why someone can't lose weight.
Well, yeah, you spike your insulin all the time, which signals your body to store fat, obviously. And if you combine that with fat and protein, you're gonna gain weight. That's why raw milk is so good for gaining weight.
What the fuck?
Yeah, totally delusional.
Dickhead.
What if I told you that a serving of Nutella has less sugar than a regular banana? That's because it does. This has
How is that relevant? Nutella is full of seed oils. That's the base of it, I think. What does it matter? It's super poisonous.
8.4 grams of sugar per serving, and a regular banana has 12 grams of sugar per serving, which debunks the theory of Nutella being a bad thing for us.
What? What? Oh my god. What the fuck is wrong with this guy? Nutella is bad for you because of the sugar? The extracted added sugar? Yeah, also, but not really the actual reason why it's unhealthy. The main reason is because of the seed oils. What?
Because calories in versus calories out is the main metric that you need to be looking at.
Oh my god, man, this guy's horrible. Not at all. Wait, we'll see what he says.
When it comes down to weight loss.
Still no, because I don't even want to explain this. That makes no sense. You should be eating natural food and then you will get back to your natural state, the body state. If you count the calories of seed oils, which your body for the most part cannot even digest or absorb, then it's not going to make any sense. Counting calories, especially when it comes to processed food, is never going to work because you cannot even digest or assimilate the nutrients. The fat, the protein, generally when it comes to plant-based foods, because the biological value is so low, you cannot even count calories anyway. I guess that you could count calories of raw animal foods, which most people don't even eat, so it's pointless.
You could quite literally have 1,500 calories worth of Nutella on a daily basis. And if you're maintaining at 2,000 calories...
Yeah, but you're still relatively young. If you eat Nutella every day, you're gonna get severely sick. You're gonna be consuming seed oil, seed sludge every day. It's gonna make you one of the most unhealthy beings on this earth.
a day, well, that means you're at a 500 calorie deficit. You could quite literally have this every single day for the rest of your life and lose weight.
Well, if you would lose weight for the rest of your life, you would be skin and bones, then you would die.
But that doesn't necessarily mean you're then going to be losing the good kind of weight. You know, there's bad kind and good kind, and bad kind of weight that you lose is muscle mass. But in order for us to actually get amazing results, we need to be tracking our protein, carbs, and fats. So if we have a good understanding of protein, carbs, and fats, we then can realize that we can actually eat foods like this and get to the best shape of our life. Because if we can then...
Well, no, you cannot at all. You're gonna have cellulite for starters. That's what cellulite is. It's the seed oils which your body cannot get out because they are stuck in the body between the fat. That's why it looks so strange.
We have been told a lie that we can't be eating foods like this. And this is just something that we see continuously on...
Yeah, they're lying to you that you can't eat it. They just put it in the supermarket for you to eat it.
social media. And it's so fucking frustrating for me as a coach to see this on a daily basis.
Cool, yeah, you're a good coach, man.
And to hear people come to me saying that, oh, this is good and this is bad. There's no such thing as good. There's no such thing as bad.
Yeah, there's no such thing as good or bad food. Eat chips, Nutella, donuts, as long as you count the calories, it's okay for you. Yeah.
What do the numbers say? And if you're eating more than the calories that you should be eating on a daily basis, you're going to gain weight. If you're eating less than the calories you should be eating on a daily basis, you're going to lose weight. Just make sure you have enough.
You can eat a vegan diet, carnivore diet, only processed food. As long as you count the calories, you will be healthy. It's just superb logic.
Protein to have on a daily basis, and you're going to maintain the muscle that you have. Stick to it consistently. Stop listening to all the bullshit you hear online. Enjoy the foods that you fucking
Fuck all the bullshit out there. This guy gets it.
love and live your life.
You're not going to be able to live your life. That's the point. You're going to be dead if you consume this.
If you're eating carbs after 7 p.m., you're making a huge mistake. Now, if you actually believe this video is for you. First and foremost, carbs are not the enemy. They are, in fact, the body's primary and most effective energy source. Some dickhead living in his mother's basement made these bullshit claims on nothing but just
Yeah, exactly. Chips with bread. Chip sandwich.
lies. Now, a carbohydrate at 7 a.m. is no different to a carbohydrate at 7 p.m. Now, your body doesn't know whether it's 5 a.m., 6 a.m., or midnight. But what your body does know is that it requires a certain amount of energy to function throughout the entire day. So if you're eating within your maintenance, then your body won't put on any body fat. Now, if you're eating a carb-heavy meal late at night and you weigh yourself the following morning, you're probably going to weigh a little bit heavier, but it's not fat.
He looks pretty exhausted. Sort of slight dark eye circles also maybe. He's still kind of young. If he's gonna eat like this, he's gonna see the consequences pretty soon. I've never seen somebody promote such garbage. Nutella and a chip sandwich.
For every 1 gram of carb that you consume, you hold 3 grams of water. Through the day, it's gonna slowly go away. So don't stress. So the next time you hear somebody say you shouldn't be eating carbs after a certain time, fucking hit them the fuck sandwich, bro. Weight loss starts at the shopping center. So if you're a snacky person, instead of grabbing these shapes, grab these high protein chips instead.
It's all made with seed oils, or for the most part. It's just potatoes with seed oils and all kinds of toxins such as salt and whatever kind of additives. It's complete slave food, no matter what kind you
If
get.
you're a massive sweet tooth, instead of grabbing the chocolate bar, get yourself a nice protein bar like this. Now, if you like
It's all the same, it's just made from seeds for the slaves.
your oats, not that these are a bad choice. However, if there is a high protein option available, I would highly recommend you guys snag up one of these.
Makes no difference, it's seeds for the slaves.
Or grab this instead. If you're sick and tired of cutting your spud like potatoes, I would recommend grabbing this instead because these taste like the real fucking deal. Now, FroPro just released their new pizza slice flavor that this had
What does this guy eat? I've never seen so much garbage in one video.
over 50 grams of protein, and apparently it has over 50 grams of fiber.
Man, that's not bioavailable. Wow, fiber also. Wow, cool.
I don't know where that one cheap. Instead of driving your ass to get a McFlurry, drive your ass to Coles.
For those who want to boost their sperm count, I normally suggest to them that they must eat at least 3 cucumbers a day, 3 fresh
How are cucumbers gonna help? Also, they have pesticides that would, if anything, be counterproductive.
ripe tomatoes a day, and 3 carrots
Based on what, man? These are man-made plants, cultivated. They don't even exist in nature. What does that have to do with your sperm or fertility or anything?
a day, minimum. It could be more, but that's minimum. Now, how do you do it? Before your breakfast, eat 1 cucumber, 1 carrot, 1 tomato. In the afternoon, before your lunch, eat 1 cucumber, 1 carrot, 1 ripe tomato. Similarly, before your supper, 1 cucumber, 1 carrot, 1 ripe tomato. Make that your practice for the next 90 days, okay? Then, if you are not diabetic, make pineapple juice, not the one in the carton bought in the store. I mean freshly made pineapple juice that you make at
Pineapples are pretty acidic. I wouldn't do that. It may be better for hydration than drinking water, of course, but there's way better options.
home. And then, blend ginger and garlic into the
Oh my god. I thought ginger's bad enough, but garlic also, man. That's insanely poisonous. You can die from that. That's like taking antibiotics.
pineapple juice. So you have a drink enriched with ginger and garlic. Take at least a glass a day.
Yeah, it's just about impossible to drink that. The only way you could is because there's a lot of sugar in the pineapple. Okay, wow. The recommendations on TikTok are absolutely insane. The last guy especially, no explanation. Usually there's no real arguments for anything, no proof anyway. Just some religious beliefs, eat cucumbers, tomatoes, put in some garlic and ginger with the pineapple juice, and then your sperm quality will increase. So toxins increase the sperm quality? That he could never explain what he's even talking about. And then you had the coach before saying that you can just eat potatoes baked in seed oils or fried, and then seed oil sludge slime Nutella and just whatever you want, bread with chips, and that's gonna be the same as eating any other diet, because all that matters is calories in and calories out, because it's all about weight loss. Yeah, you may lose weight if you undereat, but you're gonna be insanely unhealthy and you're gonna be micronutrient deficient. And when you are, which you will be on that kind of garbage because there's nothing in there, then you're gonna have crazy cravings for food. That's typically why if you eat chips, Nutella with bread and so on, you're gonna eat a lot of that because you're not getting the micronutrients that you need. Your body doesn't even really recognize all of this man-made garbage, which is why you would just eat. And if you eat enough of that garbage, eventually you will gain weight because you're always spiking your insulin. As I said, it just signals your body to store fat all the time. Wow, you can hardly find any good advice on TikTok. My girlfriend also once posted a video on TikTok of her eating raw meat, and the video was removed. I think not even within 24 hours, even earlier than that. They don't really allow any good content on there. I think I've heard of some other people who were banned. That's pretty interesting because what's actually healthy for you gets banned from TikTok. What humans eat in nature. But then if you would show a nature documentary of them eating that, it would be somehow fine. It's as if humans in nature are allowed to eat what they are naturally supposed to eat. But when it comes to the slaves living in their apartments and houses, you're somehow not automatically on TikTok. That makes no sense already. I'm not saying that there's necessarily an agenda behind it. TikTok is owned by China, right? Although also other people. But it's for sure also not owned by people who care about their health, or at least people who understand anything about health. You can argue about some other platforms as to why they remove certain content which may not even be related to diet, for sure, yeah. But when it comes to this, these kind of weird guidelines on TikTok, it's really strange. I think that there are some people who eat raw meat on there, but there's a lot of censorship, unfortunately. Obviously, in general. As I said in the other videos, let me know if you like this kind of content, but it seems like most of you do, and if you do, then I'll make more of these videos, just responding to some random videos about whatever. Veganism, can be plant-based, carnivore, exercise, whatever is in any way related to health. Thanks for watching.